You're watching the Sports and Political channel of LB. If you're not subscribing to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. All right, let's get down to business. And before we get into the video, I want to do this real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I am a proponent of supporting Black-owned business. Hold on. Before we get down to business. If you give this woman, Betty Illustration, a follow on Instagram, she also designs portraits at great rates. If you want to give her a follow, give her a look. Like I said, she does really good work. It greatly be appreciated, and we have to support each other. So give Betty Illustration a look if you don't mind on Instagram. Give her a follow and take a look at some of the work that she has done. It's amazing. Now, the layoffs has continued for ESPN as top analyst Jalen Rose and top color analyst Jeff Van Gundy have been let go. They've been let go in light of more cuts that ESPN has laid upon the company. They're looking to downsize. They're looking to downsize. 20 on camera and potentially high profile jobs are being downsized. The company informed the employees on an internal message board that the affected employees will be notified on Friday. We also seen that former NHL player and studio analyst Chris Chelios have been let go. Also, Neil Everett, longtime SportsCenter anchor, has been let go. They also canceled the morning radio show with Max Kellerman, Jay Williams, and Keyshawn Johnson, and also that Jay Williams has been let go at ESPN. So all those guys are being let go. Max Kellerman, we all know Max Kellerman was going to be on the chopping block when he got basically fired off First Take. He got fired off his own show that hardly anyone watched, so he was going to be on the chopping block. I reported 2 weeks ago about how Jay Williams was on the chopping block, and now Keyshawn Johnson on the chopping block too. So more often than not, when we see these cost-cutting mechanisms, it's because they're going to be raking in massive profits off these cost-cutting measures. Part of the reason why also you see these cost-cutting measures go on is because that people are cutting the cord on cable. A lot of things are going to streaming. A lot of things are going to YouTube. And cable, as we know it, is just not a thing anymore. The cable you grew up watching is not a thing anymore. People are cutting the cord. So when people are cutting the cord and people are not watching the content, then you have to find cost-cutting mechanisms. And one of the biggest mechanisms when it comes to expenses is the employee. So somebody got to bite the bullet. You also seen guys like Rob Ninkovich getting let go, right? Stephen A. Smith ain't gonna get let go. He's the face of the company, so of course Stephen A. is not getting fired. Hey, ESPN and Disney, why are you on the subject and on the idea of cost cutting? Why don't you cut Malika Andrews? Cut her ass. Cut Malika Andrews. You want to sit up here and cut Jalen Rose? Jalen Rose is one of the guys that I actually want to watch. Jeff Van Gundy, even though he be making outlandish kicks sometimes, he's a guy I would want to watch. But to sit up here and watch Malika Andrews, bring up the ghost of someone's past if he's black. No, I don't want to see that. Why don't you cut her ass? 61-year-old Jeff Van Gundy has been calling the NBA Finals for ESPN since 2017. The former head coach of the New York Knicks and former coach of the Houston Rockets was known for insightful commentary and a willingness to both criticize players and tweak the NBA. Rose, part of the Michigan's Fab Five, and a 13-year NBA veteran, was a regular contributor across the network's NBA coverage. Friday was marked the third wave of layoffs at ESPN, with the first two focused on the executive of the company, including John Dahl, the executive producer of the docuseries The Last Dance. The cuts are part of a larger effort to reduce costs at Disney's under the order of Iger. He returned to the company back in November after a 2.5-year absence and said he would cut or not fill 7,000 jobs. His company, or his return to the company, reported $1.5 billion in losses for the fourth quarter of Disney Plus, which included ESPN's streaming services. So $1.5 billion in losses. That would explain why a lot of these personalities are getting kicked off TV. Now, it'll be interesting to see what Fox Sports does. Because Skip Bayless's show, from what I understand, hasn't been on TV ever since Shannon Sharp left Undisputed. So would it be a situation to where Fox Sports would bring on some of this talent and create some programming to steal some of the viewers from ESPN over to Fox Sports 1? I wouldn't be surprised if Max Kellerman get a show on Fox Sports 1. I wouldn't be surprised if you see guys like Jay Will and Keyshawn Johnson and guys like that end up with or Marcellus Wiley ain't don't speak for yourself no more. But maybe they team up with Chris Broussard or somebody. But these cuts is not going to end. These cuts are going to continue. You're going to see some other names that's going to get cut from ESPN. This is not it. And they said this is the third round of cuts. So how many more rounds did ESPN have in store for their talent? Whether it be on air, behind the camera, producers, and nobody's safe. So all these people, why is Sage Steele still on the payroll? See, them the people you should be cutting. The Malika Andrews, the Sage Steels, them the people you should be cutting. Not Jalen Rose. Right, Dick Vitale in and out of the hospital. Why is he still on the payroll? Now, I ain't got nothing against Dick Vitale, but come on. This man in and out of the hospital. Why is he still on the payroll? So, as far as I'm concerned, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Don't expect Michael Irvin to come back, even though Michael Irvin is going to get exonerated of all those bullshit-ass charges that was projected onto him. He's not going to be back on ESPN. So, we'll see what happens, though. But thanks for tuning in. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, smash the like, hit subscribe, ring that bell whenever I go live. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Hey!